Can you tell us about Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk was sacrificed. It is a classic sacrifice. We are currently in between two very powerful eclipses. Eclipses are also known as openings. It's when portals open. It is when souls are able to leave Earth, and it is when entities also try to come into the earthly realm. His passing happened right after the opening of the 9-9 portal, which was on 9-9. It happened right in between that and right in between September 11th, which is also a very tragic, gruesome energy harvesting event. The groups, the people, and the organizations that were responsible for what happened to Charlie are harvesting our energy. If you watch this video, if it came across your timeline, if you've been hearing the news, even if you're not an empath, even if you have no connection to your spiritual gifts, you have felt this. You have felt that something is not right. You have felt that queasy feeling in the pit of your stomach. And that is because this was a sacrifice. And this is an energy harvesting that they are conducting. They are feeding off of your sadness, your outrage, your emotion, and the divide that it's caused all over the country. It's not who they claim it is. It's not that young boy who was captured. That boy is going to take the fall. His dad is probably turning him in to help him take that fall. That boy is mentally unstable. I don't even think he knows what's going on. Might be under the control of MK Ultra, on medications without a doubt, but he's going to take this fall. And I think as the story unwinds, he may claim insanity, or he may claim that he had absolutely no recollection of what happened, which is also very possible if he was under the control of MK Ultra. But this, I believe that what we saw that was executed in the way that it was, that is not just your random person that's walking around. This was a hit. Now, I personally won't talk too much about who it was, who's responsible for it, but I'll tell you, go follow, if you don't already, like listen to what Candace Owens is saying. She's going to leave no stone unturned. She knew a lot of what was going on with Charlie and what was going on with his beliefs and what he was starting to speak up about. And this is why he was shut down. He knew too much. He was saying too much. He played such a pivotal role in the elections, in helping DT and JD Vance in getting the youth right and bringing all of that social media attention and involving the youth in politics, and what he was going to start speaking about with what's going on out in Israel, but also with what was going on with the Epstein files, how he started to push for a lot of this information to be released. This man was silenced, and he knew he was going to be silenced. And this is, again, I am not speaking to him directly, and he's okay with that. He's actually okay with me respecting his boundaries. A lot of these other mediums are claiming that they're speaking to Charlie. They might be, but I don't understand how that is possible, because he is clearly stating that he does not want to speak to anybody down here. He is absolutely okay with just staying up there. And he's like, if you want questions answered, he's like, you need to pray on it, you need to ask God, or just like leave it alone, and the answers are going to come to light. But as far as like full on connecting to a medium, I don't see him doing that. So if there are other mediums on here claiming to connect with him and speak with him, I don't know. Either they're, I don't know. I think they're connecting to something else. But he knew, like, this is like months leading up to what happened. I think he already knew that. What it feels like is that he knew that there was a hit on him. I feel like he knew that he was in danger. I also feel like his wife also felt something was going to happen. I don't believe that they thought it was going to happen at a public event and so many eyes were going to be on it, but they were expecting it. And this was not done by accident. This was a public execution that they wanted everyone to see. It took Charlie a while to cross over because he was so stunned with what happened. A lot of people are saying that he went instantly and that this was painless. Although I do agree that I don't feel like he endured that much pain. I can feel the imprint and the shock that he left behind that is still there at the university where this took place. It was him wandering for a while. It was him speaking, all of a sudden just like the shutdown. And it's what we know as like an NDE, the beginning of like a near-death experience, when you're taken through that tunnel, when you start seeing colors, you start seeing the other side, you start hearing your loved one. So it's like Out of nowhere, he knows that he's speaking, everything goes dark, and he feels the pressure. He feels something go in, and then it's a complete shutdown. So his brain is still processing everything. It was not instantly your lights are out and you don't remember everything. He still has some cells in his brain that are processing everything. He's still able to hear everything that's going on. Although he's seeing dark, he's hearing the screaming, he's hearing what his security details are saying. He hears the chaos of being taken to the car and being driven to the hospital, everyone telling him to hang in there. So I feel like there were seconds of this, 30, 40, maybe a minute of him hearing all this. And that is when I feel like his soul then leaves and he's looking down at everything that's happening. I see him looking around at the crowd. I see him looking at the vehicle that he's in. I see him being driven to the hospital. And that's when he finally realizes what happened to him. When he's in the hospital, he sees himself and all the medical staff around him. And his first reactions are, holy shit, what happened? This is unreal. This is the shock part where it's like, that's my body. I am floating above it. What happened? Then it's like, that's when he starts having these thoughts about my kids, my wife, are they okay? And that's where immediately his spirit is like, I need to go find them. I need to check on them. There is outrage. This is who did this to me. This is, I cannot believe this happened. I cannot believe they cut my life short. I have so much more that I want to say. And just again, repeatedly, like that thud, which I feel it more in the chest than I do of the neck. It's like right, just the pressure of it is what he tells me was being hit so hard. Now he also, oh man, well, surprise, surprise. I guess he is talking. I guess he is communicating, and he's showing me imagery. And this is not as strong as like somebody directly coming and speaking to me, but I can feel his presence. And he's rubbing the belly of his wife. He's rubbing her belly. Yeah, he's rubbing her belly. I think his wife is pregnant. And I think he knew that she was pregnant. And they were going to announce it. He's worried about her because he's like, all this stress that she's under, everything that's going on, do they not know that she's expecting? I'm not trusting the security detail. I'm not trusting them at all. They played a role in this, whether they helped set it up or they made sure that there was absolutely no chance that he was going to be saved from this. This is an inside job. There were people in his team, there were people that were present there with him, that have been present in other locations when these attempts have been made on other people. Two of them, two men, they were there again that day, and they were in on this. They knew exactly what was going to happen. And I feel like there are also other people within these government agencies. They also knew that this was going to happen. It was not a shock to them. They knew that he was next. They knew that this was going to be a sacrifice, and they did this as a statement for anyone else that wants to speak up about what Charlie was going to speak up on. They want to keep it under wraps, and I am not too I'm not too sure that this current administration did not know something was going to happen. It just feels very off. And then now I'm also getting like these images of like how Secret Service detail was removed for Kamala Harris. So there's a lot going on here. If you watch my prediction video that I released a couple of weeks ago, where I was seeing a funeral and I was mentioning that there was going to be a funeral. I was seeing like flags at half staff. I was seeing that there were going to be former presidents in attendance to this funeral. What threw me off is that I was like, why do I see Biden at the funeral? I was like, maybe it's his health, but I legit saw Biden attending the funeral in like regular form. So he's alive. So I am not sure that I was seeing this event. I was feeling something towards the end of the year, which makes me worry about something else like this playing out again. I think we've been seeing a lot of it, and there are these organizations, there are these elite people that are carrying them out. I'm going to do a part two because I'm running out of time.